Hey, so someone had asked the question, did we always have the ideal that people were bad, or is it something we came to over time? And I responded to them, I used to sit and watch people. I've always been a people watcher. I don't know why. And I'm not talking like stalker or weird, just like watching people, behavior. I took a lot of psychology in college, and I guess just the way that the human brain functions has always fascinated me. So, anyways, like I told them, I used to watch people, and it would be like, why are they doing what they're doing? And then as time progressed, I was like, what are they doing? And it kept growing into why or how could you do that to somebody? It just seemed to get worse as I watched. And I'm talking over years. And finally, I got to the point where I was like, I don't really care why they do what they do. I just know I don't want to be around those people, right? So that's where I started getting to the point that it's not that I was judging them to be bad, they just weren't good for my spirit. They weren't good company that I would prefer. And I still believe that people all have good and bad in them. We all do. It's what you choose to do. And every day you can be a totally different person, right? You can choose to do good one day, and then the next day you can choose to do bad. But it's not saying that's who you are. When it comes down to it, how your heart is what says who you are. That's one thing you can't hide from the divine. You can masquerade in the world. There's been a lot of serial killers that all their neighbors were like, oh my God, they were so nice. That's a mask. People easily fool everyone around them so that they gain their trust and they would never suspect them. That's the criminal mind. And we get to a point where you can look and be like, I would have never guessed. But that's putting too much faith into individuals without knowing who they truly are. And we never know who people are behind closed doors, right? You never know how somebody's treating their grandmother when nobody's looking. It's like I saw this guy, he was shopping for, I guess it was a woman he takes care of, he gets paid to take care of. And, or it could have been his grandmother. But he had a harsh demeanor to him. And it was funny, as I was helping them, he saw the way I interacted with her. And they end up coming back around at a later time, and he noticed me. Well, then he became playful with her. And I thought, I know exactly what kind of person that is. Those are those dangerous people, because they don't necessarily have empathy, but they can mirror the behavior they learn. That's a narcissist. Somebody that doesn't know exactly how to act in certain situations, but as they watch the crowd, they're like, oh, okay, so that is applaudable, that's acceptable, that's not acceptable. And then they start being able to work the room. Then they can move into other environments and do the same. It's like they never got past that emotional stage that we all go through around, I want to say like 5th grade, junior high time, when they call it the patchwork quilt self, where you're taking bits and pieces of what you want to be, and you're trying on, like one year you're goth, and then the next year you're preppy, and another year you are recluse, you just, all these different things, and you start piecing together who you're comfortable being. And it seems a lot of people didn't achieve that part of their life. They weren't they weren't taught to be allowed to explore themselves in an internal aspect of how they're comfortable. And this is how we start creating sociopaths, psychopaths, narcissists, people that are so insecure and worried about being inferior. And a lot of times it's because either they've been abused or they see how weaker people get treated. So they judge everyone else and go, oh, you're weak. No, I'd pick on you. So instead of them being picked on, they put on a mask. So like I said in the beginning, it's not that I've ever looked at people and thought, oh, the world's full of assholes. I've always thought the world's full of awesome people. If you look for the good in people, you're going to pull the good in people out. If you look for the negative side, you're going to see nothing but the negative and pull that out of them. I heard a man telling a girl the other day, no, you don't deserve that because you're bad. And I wanted so badly to go up to her and go, you're an awesome little girl. You're not bad. You might not be understood. You might be hyper. You might talk a lot, but you're not bad. And that's one thing adults need to realize. What you say to children is molding the character of who they will become. So when you're telling them they're not worthy, they misbehave, go sit down or I'll bust your ass. I hear all kinds of language towards tiny children. And I've wanted for the longest time to just go collect all these kids and raise them myself. And I'm not saying I'm the best mother in the world, but you have to be patient. You have to be understanding. You have to educate yourself to guide them correctly. And the sad thing is we live in a world that's just so fast paced. I get sensory overload on the regular. A lot of my coworkers do too. And it's because the world is full of questions and noises and all kinds of things that are there to distract us and push us down an avenue that we wouldn't regularly choose to go. So as you get pulled a different direction, all of a sudden, you're not even looking how people affect your life. And I'm not saying become judgmental. I'm saying assess the situation and see how it pertains to your life. If it doesn't benefit your higher good, your highest self, don't waste your time and energy on it. Because like I've said, you're wearing yourself down. You can't get those things back. That's something you have to actually work to maintain. And it's funny because you don't have to work as hard as you do at your job to maintain your mental peace of mind at home. You just have to spend less time entertaining society. And I know that's the hard part because we're like, I just want to come home and relax. I just want to come home and pop that beer or drink my whiskey or watch my show or unwind. But when it comes down to it, our unwinding is leaving us with fruitless nights of sleeping. And this is me not passing judgment on anybody. I should drink my tea that helps me sleep at night more than I should drink the beer that allows me to turn my music up, feel alive, feel like I accomplished something, and the next morning I wake up like, God, I'm so tired. Let's do this again. Round eternity. Work. But we bog ourselves down. I heard someone say the other day, the easiest way or the fastest way to lower your vibration is to drink. And I thought, I see that. It doesn't stop me or probably anyone else. A lot of people aren't even thinking about vibration and energy when it comes to choices that are being made for their lives. I know at one point I wasn't. I also know at one point I was so disciplined. My standards were so high, my boundaries, you couldn't even get to me. And I was perfectly fine. That wasn't that long ago. And then over time, it's life, bills, everything starts weighing a person down. And it sucks. We live in a world that we have to give up our enjoyment, our happiness, right? To be able to even do what we call survive. I talked to a lady today that she was saying, I need to go back to school. I know I need to just get my head out of my ass, make the choice. And I got 3 kids. I had a fiance and he passed away. And she makes candles. And she was showing me all her candles. I was like, there's your business right there. Like, and she said, yeah, but he's the one that pushed me to do it. You know, he's the one that I was the crafter and he did everything else. And I was like, so you got to do it for him. You've got to keep going for your kids, you know, and don't give up. And in the end, when we're done talking after like 5 or 10 minutes, she was like, you know, God puts people in your path for a reason. Thank you. It was awesome meeting you. And I really hope she goes home and continues on her journey of being that crafter, that artisan, to share things, shed light to the world. And all I told her was, maybe try it like this. And her eyes lit up like, that would be new on the market. We all have the ability to look at others and learn what we don't like. I was helping one of my coworkers today. Her sister's birthday is tomorrow. And I was like, what are you going to get her? She said, I don't know. I don't know what she likes. I said, what about pajamas? And she was like, she'd probably like pajamas. I said, well, let's go over there and we'll look. So we're looking and she's like, no, she wouldn't like that. No, she doesn't like shorts. No, she doesn't. I said, Cece, you know her better than you thought. She said, no. I said, I know what she doesn't like. So it's funny because to find what somebody likes, just try the opposite of what they don't like, right? Eventually you'll know if that's another dislike. But it's the same with yourself. It's the same with the things that build you up. Like I said, if it's beneficial for your highest self or your personal growth, it's a winner. If it's something that's hindering you or making you feel drained, exhausted, and like you're chasing your tail, then that gets put on the shelf and no, that's not for me. At least not right now, right? So just remember, not everyone is a terrible person. Not everybody's hiding behind a facade. But the problem is a lot of people I know especially, are very uncomfortable being vulnerable because they find that as a sign of weakness when they don't realize that's actually a superpower. When you can be like, you know what, I can put myself out there and if you judge me, it's not going to hurt me. Because has anyone's judgment ever killed you? By them saying, oh, that doesn't look good on you, or oh, don't wear that, or oh, don't do that, you shouldn't say that. I'll tell you, by me accepting the judgment of somebody who was trying to destroy me, that almost killed me. That was me allowing somebody else to captain my ship. So, remember who's in charge. You. Remember what you get to do with your life. Create. Remember what you get to pursue. Happiness. You get to build and feel love. These are things that you are allowed. And if I want to say what none of us are allowed to do, it's tear our brothers and sisters down so we feel better about ourselves. Because too many people are doing this. We got to get out of the competition. We've got to get out of supporting the corporate greed that allows the prices to go up while we're struggling to survive and get by. I feel it's time to cut it off because I hear things popping in my head that shall not pass these lips. On that note, peace out.